Okay students, so here is the part 2 of the lecture number 5. In our previous slides I have shown to you many types of the IUCN threatened categories. I am here giving you an example of one species which has been assessed by the IUCN, and that species is called Taxus valenciana. It is also called East Himalayan yew. And this is the person who has assessed it, and the IUCN assessment, when you click on that link which I have already shared in my previous slides, so and you put certain species into the search box, so you could have such like bar in which there are categories like non-evaluated, data deficient category, least concern, near threatened, vulnerable, and so on. So this species is actually this Taxus, this red, the whole, it shows a big red. So that means that this species is endangered. So whenever you will type Taxus valenciana into the search box of red data book, so you would find it as endangered species. This picture has been taken from the www.cnc.org. What is Himalayan yew? Himalayan yew is a species of yew. I mean, this is like belongs to the Taxus family, native to Himalaya. In Himalaya, Pakistan, you can find this species in Pakistan, India, Nepal, even in Afghanistan at the east. Taxus valenciana, also known as Himalayan yew, belong to the family of Taxaceae. Taxaceae, in fact. It is medium size temperate Himalayan forest tree of medicinal importance. There are certain chemicals, phytochemicals present in the Himalayan yew, which are believed to be used as potent anti-cancer drugs. So mostly this tree is also harvested or for this purpose to extract the taxol. And this tree is actually available in the temperate Himalayan forest. In Pakistan, the temperate Himalayan forest is one of the example is like Nathia Gali, even Murray. So that is the temperate regions, and you can find somehow Taxus valenciana, but it is very because it is endangered, so you cannot find it very easily like Pinus valenciana or Abies pedron or other species. In India, this evergreen is found at an altitude between 1800 to 3300 meter above mean sea level. It has been used by the native population for treating common cold, cough, fever, and pain. This is the medicinal importance of this species. Its uses are described in the Ayurveda. Ayurveda is actually the system, the Indian system of traditional medicines and Unani medicines. So it's as I have already mentioned earlier, that it received attention recently as its leaves and bark particularly were found to be the prime source of taxol, which is an anti-cancer phytocompound, and it possesses many other biological activities also, and you can have more information on this Himalayan yew by searching www.cnc.org. Now this is actually the categories and criteria how you can put a certain species, or the IUCN are putting certain species into a certain categories. Here they have given some of these categories. For example, extinct. I will start, first of all I will show you here. It is like the population reduction rate. So you have to at which rate the population has been declined. Geographical range, in how much area that particular species is present. Population size, what is the current population of that particular species. Population restrictions, how much to how much area that population is restricted, or to a habitat fragment that population is restricted. Extinction probability in the wild, that means that in how much time that particular species would be extinct. So starting from the least concern, a species that has been a widespread and abundant population, means you can find this species everywhere. That is why that species, a particular species, is least concerned species, because it is widespread, or it is widely distributed. Nearly threatened, a species is likely to qualify for the threatened category in the near future, means this type of species can comes into these categories in near future if the causal factors are continued. Vulnerable species, that means that 30 to 50% population has been declined, like so far. And the geographical range, it can be available into 20,000 kilometers square, not more than that. While out of this 20,000 kilometers, area of occupancy is to only 2,000 kilometers square. It is available in 20,000, but occupied in, that means in certain habitat zones, which is actually less than 2,000 kilometer square. Population size is less than 10,000 mature individuals till now. These are available. And population is less than 1,000 mature individuals, or an area of occupancy of 20 kilometers square. That means in 20 kilometers square you can find less than 1,000 mature individuals of this species. And within next 100 years, at least 10% of this species was extinct within the next 100 years. Critically endangered. Endangered species, I think it is the same, but as I have already explained, the vulnerable species. So the critically endangered, like 80 to 90% population has been declined so far, and you can see the extent of occurrence is 100 kilometers square. It is very low, and even the area occupancy is 10 kilometers square. That is extremely low. And the population size is that less than 250 mature individuals, and less than 10 mature individuals population restrictions. That is extremely low, and within the 10 years, or maybe after 3 generations, 50% of this will be gone further. Chances are there 50%. And then the extincted wild and extinct. So this is some of one of the criteria in which certain species they are being assessed throughout the cultivated or wild regions, and then they put into all these categories. So you have to consult the Krishnamurthy textbook on biodiversity for most of this lecture, and you can find most of the text and relevant text in this. Also, you can also have to check these 3 websites, and you can find more relevant literature and even we have already cited from these three websites in this lecture. So you can also find more relevant literature for your study. So that's it, students, and stay tuned for the next lecture. Goodbye.